Well, I'd say it's still too wet to be thinking about sowing. Well, Brad beat me to it before we got down here basically, but what's happened is got a new shaft in that pivot there and bushes I believe, and then had to weld up a crack up there, and now we're just trying to line it all up. Went to pick this up from down the paddock to get it back to the shed so we can do a little bit of work to it, and it's stuck. It's just starting to dry it on top, but yeah, it's still just a bit puggy underneath, so that's just, it's going to be another few days before we do anything here, I'd say. But anyway, got the dump truck coming down. We'll pull this out and get it back to the shed. I did make it from up there though. Where are we? Right up there. So I made it all this way. Soft. We cut the tracks, but we are moving. Righto, we're back here at the development block. It's a cracker of a day. Just the sun's beautiful. Not a lot of wind. A little bit fresh this morning, but all in all, I think it should be a good day. Now, everyone's just taken off. I only just got down here as everyone was dispersing. So we've got Josiah and Johnny stick picking still in some of those areas that we're just trying to get into farming land. There's just sort of a few acres here and there that was previously farmed and just had regrowth on it. So we've been attacking those a little bit, and we've got, I think Phil's going to go on the loader. Similar thing, just tidy up a few bits and pieces. And then Brad is on the dump truck and we're stockpiling a bit of rock. Might be able to see over there. There is a development happening there, which will be in future videos. Bit of a clue over there too. Just at the minute, I'm going to unhook this from the Steiger, and then we've got the rippers that we still have here that we were borrowing from a friend. And yeah, I think we're going to rip with the Steiger a couple of those areas just to try to bring up some roots and things so they can be picked up and get them out of the paddock. So might be able to have a bit of a look at that today, what's going on. But at the minute, I'll make sure this thing fires up and get it all unhooked. It's a fair procession to turn around. Just got to make sure I turn around here before this all fills up with rock, and then I can't turn around because you can't back this up. Just make sure I don't drive over myself. Looks good. Righto, we got it unhooked, but I forgot that I need a smaller drawbar pin. Not entirely sure where I'll find one. As you might be able to tell, this is pretty temporary type storage here. Huh. Not quite sure where I'll find one. Let's look over here, see if there's a pin here that we can commandeer. There's a fairly long one on the back there. That looks like about a size one there. Biggest problem is we're definitely going to have to remember to put a pin back in before we try and take off. That would be messy, but I don't have another option that I can think of at the minute. Righto, well I just raided the pin out of there. I did just put a long big bolt back in there just so if it ever we do have to move it or whatever, it's yeah, it's not going to be as bad as if we don't have anything in there. And I just had to modify a big washer to take that. It probably will mangle that washer a little bit as we're pulling on it this way, but yeah, it should be fine. She'll sort itself out. But yeah, we're not going to be doing a lot of work with it, so it'll do for that. But yes, this definitely wasn't going to fit. Here comes Brad with his first load of the day. Nice and full. Very handy things, those dump trucks. Well, I think this is pretty well sorted. I've just checked the tyres and that. So Phil can come back and grab this when he's onto his next clearing project. It's so nice watching the dump truck unload, because what we grew up with was the old comma with rock sides on it, where she was on a little bit of a lean. It was not pretty, and yeah, it was you were very nervous. But with this thing, you just back her up and go for it. So it holds about 35 tonne, that one. So yeah, there's a fair bit of weight there. Righto, we're down here at the bore and just making sure it's dry enough to maybe do some spraying, because hopefully we'll be planting in a couple of days. So just get a little head start on the spraying. Now this is a pretty big tank here, but I don't think it'll be getting filled up anymore. You might be able to notice that's not quite right. So there is plans to get a solar pump put in here, but obviously that's not here yet. So hopefully there's enough water in here to do what we need to do. I think it's full, so I don't know how big this would be. It might be a 30 maybe a 30 or 35,000 litre tank or something like that. So we'll see how far we get with that. We can have a good look here at the bit that's been cleared. So this was that regrowth patch. You can see there was original contours, maybe you can't see, there was original contours that went through there. So this had been farmed, and yeah, we've been, Phil's first of all pushed up a lot of those piles with Tiny 3. Then yeah, we've gone in and ripped it with Tiny 3 as well, or parts of it. And then yeah, we've gone over with those offsets that we did up, those small little offsets we bought to, yeah, sort of for this purpose. And yeah, then going through with just stick picking, pulling up some of the stumps and roots and things. But yeah, it's getting there. It does take time. Well guys, we're about halfway through our second load. Hopefully by the end of today I'll have done about 100 hectares, and that will be a good day's sowing at least, whether we get going tomorrow or the day after. But carrying a couple injuries, hoping just to be able to get back to the shed there, and I've just got to weld up the tip of the boom here. Yeah, it's sort of separated just there. Got to weld that back up, and the air conditioning belt keeps flying off, which is lovely, but thankfully it's not a really warm day. I've got the window cracked open a bit. I've just got to make sure I'm going faster than what the wind's blowing the spray towards me. So yeah, we'll have to sort that one out too. This is the area I was talking about before. You can see the burning pile there, and over to the left there's a good 6 or so piles. So yeah, that'll be a nice paddock to, yeah, we'll be able to nearly go straight through from here. There is a waterway that comes up through here, which we won't be able to get rid of, but yeah, it's going to be one big paddock going straight through, hopefully. So anyway, we'll get back into it. Righto, we have done a fix of sorts. So welded that back on, and this little bar here had come off. I've got a custom hole there where I can put a zip tie through. Not really, I was just a bit hot on the weld there, but all it's got to do is hold up this bar here. So all these little plastic clips here, or some of them have a stud that goes through, but as you can imagine, this boom whips around a fair bit here and there, and they always snap off. So at least with zip ties, we can just put new zip ties on when that happens. So yeah, we're just babying this, trying to give it as much life left as it's got. Anyway, we'll see what tomorrow brings. I'm not exactly sure whether I'll be spraying or might even start sowing. There's a little bit of work needs to happen there, but anyway, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Well guys, it's another morning, and lovely morning, so we're probably going to get cracking with the sowing today, but we'll leave that for the next video. So that'll be it for now. Just remember to hit the like button if you enjoy the videos, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one.